The Medford School District and teachers negotiated back and forth all week, but the talks stopped abruptly yesterday.
No agreement made, and now negotiations won't pick back up until Tuesday. Both sides aired out their differences live to News 10 last night. The mood was tense as Medford School Superintendent and the Teachers Union president went over why hours of negotiations ended with no deal. Phil Long says the district made a bold move by offering up millions of dollars to help with an early retirement incentive.
$4.5 million on the table. The offer that just came back to me, they moved $60,000. That will not get a contract solved.
Long says any momentum gained this week from negotiations is gone.
We've come up on salary, we've come up on early retirement benefits, we've been looking at insurance, but we do not have the money to meet the current offer that MEA has on the table. It will bankrupt our district. We will not be able to build back the programs we need.
When it was Medford Education Association President Cheryl Lashley's turn to speak, she made a plea to the community.
The district is so focused on getting a 3-year contract, it is missing an opportunity to settle. Please call the board and demand a fair settlement.
She says the union is working hard to get teachers back in the classroom and the two sides cannot meet in the middle.
We have obviously a great difference of opinion, and we are disappointed that the district has called it for this evening.
The bigger picture here is how are we going to close the gap and make sure that we have stability for our districts, and the young teachers who are coming up who need to have assurances that they're going to be employed for a long time do not lose their jobs because we're paying for benefits and high compensation.
Both sides are working with state mediators to try and come up with a compromise.
News 10's Ashley Carrasco continues your total coverage. She sat down with a professional mediator who explains what goes on behind closed doors at the negotiation table.
Cannot force the parties to come to any decision, but the mediator can listen, find out what the issues are.
Mediator. It seems to be one of the biggest words the public is hearing when it comes to contract negotiations between the Medford School District and the Teachers Union. So what does a mediator do?
A lot of times you just really need to hear what both parties have to say.
Lee Mills has worked for the law for 36 years. More recently, he has focused on mediation and arbitration. Mills explains in many cases, mediators' hands are tied. He says they're brought in to narrow down the issues each party is facing throughout the proposal process.
I can suggest to you, for instance, that why don't you try this proposal, but it has to come from you. You have to agree.
A mediator is responsible for looking between the lines and suggesting a compromise both parties might not have thought of before.
Be surprised in some cases how one issue that the other party may think is not that important at all, the other party thinks it's really important.
Mills adds that's where emotions come into play.
It's so easy to get wrapped up in your own viewpoint that sometimes you don't see the forest for the trees.
In most cases, if two parties can't settle, Mills says they'll take the issue to court and let a jury decide. He says the contract dispute between the teachers and the district could have an even bigger consequence.
So they've either got to come to an agreement or change the people that are negotiating.
Covering your news, Ashley Carrasco, News 10.
Mill says he wants to wish both sides the best of luck and hopes they can find a compromise soon.
Meanwhile, there is an effort this week to recall 4 of the Medford School Board members. Chief Petitioner Blake Weller says paperwork was filed with the Jackson County Elections Office this week. The committee will have 90 days to collect 4,521 signatures to qualify for a special recall election. The committee wants to recall board members Sally Killen, Jeff Thomas, Kim Wallen, and Marlene Yeskin. The group has also created a Facebook page to post updates.